Weekend at the store.
Don't be a stupid bitch.
We are in control now.
Yes. That's right, infidels. You've been taken hostage. And you're going to watch all 47 and a half hours of wrestling. Toothpicks to keep your eyes open. Methamphetamines, whatever it takes. Because you can't miss a bump. You can't miss a spot. And you can't miss the Monday Locker Room here. Hameen Media Group, channelattitude.com. And it's time to torture Arthur the B to the B and get even more wrestling out. Because it's time for Raw here. Hameen Media Group. Yo, Lord. What's good, you guys? What's good? I'm feeling real HMG today. Got my Pure Blood HMG shirt on from my number one fan, Schmoopy, from the Pickle Barrel Factory family over there, man. And I just completed Stevie Richards' fitness workout. So a good kickoff to my day. And here we are with your lunchtime listen live at Hameen Media Group on YouTube, or Ben Hameen channel on YouTube, but really exclusively still for now at channelattitude.com. So thanks for all the subscribers and super chatters and whatever you guys are doing, wherever you're picking us up, and looking forward to breaking down this weekend's events and, the good with the bad, the injuries, the whole 9 yards. And he's back in action. Good to see him. He's MJF'd out with his scarf. It's R to the B to the V. Richard Bronson Vickery. How's it going, buddy?
Ben, I was talking about, man, this was wrestling Christmas in July. I mean, I don't know how we could ask for any more, because even if we did, I don't think they could give us any more, because there was a lot of it out there. I want to start off here, thanking the Army for having the opportunity. I feel, I don't say blessed, but it's just so great to have a platform like this to be able to share my talents, my passion. And we had a great time across the board. And I did Friday, I did 12 hours on the stick at the racetrack. Wow. Turn around. Then we had Saturday, Sunday, and by the time we get done wrapping up here, I'll be at like 14 hours podcasting, 22 hours of professional wrestling watching. And I got to say, thinking about where I was a few months ago, what I might have been doing on the weekend, or thankful that I'm even here because of the situation that I found myself in. And again, just so grateful for a platform like this, and the turnout, the support that we had from the Army in all the watch-alongs, all of the podcasts. Freaking incredible.
Yeah, that's what it's community is about, man. We lift each other up, and you have a creative outlet here to focus on instead of being taken back in by old habits. And that's a great way to spend your time. And what are you doing? Sharpening your swords, 10,000 hours, being over prepared for the next opportunity that's right around the corner. And that's self-discipline. And that's why I'm today, there may be a show towards the end of the year that I have to do. And I know I have to start putting in the work in now. You know what I mean? Instead of being even talking to Rip the other day, he's like, how much you weigh? I go, I'm a fat bastard. And instantly feel bad about myself and, get back at it. And today I had a good workout and fueled up by fans who make me shirts, and knowing I'm getting to talk to you today, and it's not even noon yet. Like that's everybody in a group mind looking forward and knowing what they have to do and what we're doing. It's not just a service. It's a great entertainment outlet for both of us, but it provides entertainment for our community, man, that we're building as well. So all that is good, positive frequency, vibration, and self-discipline. And it will, like I've said before, like I give you the acre to farm on. What are you going to make on it, bro? It's up to you. Like all I can do is pay some fees, not small ones, for web hosting and Vimeo and Podbean, and to make it work. But that's a business, really. The side of HMG that used to pay the bills, the social media management local side is, no more because of Ravens Joint, because it's, my entire future is Ravens joint. But at the same time, doesn't mean this has to end. It just meant some people, if they want to keep going, have to step up and take responsibility for things I just didn't have time for. And everyone has, so all good stuff, man. It's right now, it's all running, and it's never going to be without hiccups or evolution or changes like that, but doesn't matter, man. You're doing a great job, and thank you so much from all of July. Everybody's been it's been a great July kickoff, and we're halfway through the month. I think it's possibly the best 2 weeks of the year so far.
I do especially thank the guy that was right there riding shotgun with me this weekend, Jimmy T, putting in those hours, all the watching so we can know what the hell we're talking about on air the entire time. A lot of people forget he's on the other side of the world. He's down under the Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. So when we're doing when we're live here running,
dude, we're global.
American
it's
Eastern
global,
time,
bro.
But he's a lot of times, like if he's showing up to an 11 a.m., a 10 a.m. record, he's 14 hours ahead. He's getting up in the middle of the night, make sure he's got a studio ready, make sure that he's watching the product so he knows what he's talking about. Thank you to him. I think what was really, really cool. Brandon as well. Every night with a watch along, he was contributing this weekend. He came in Saturday night, started at 10:30, and did a complete watch along of All In. That's some dedication. That's a log in some hours there. Thank you to Brandon there. But
yeah, man,
you mentioned Rip, and I think this is so cool. I got to sit with Vet yesterday, and man, I'm always blown away getting to do a show and pick his brain and sit under that learning tree. And you and Vet, so invested and drank from the same pool of knowledge. Learn from Rip. You guys have that same fundamental base.
That pool filled with Adam Revolver's sweat because you had no other fucking choice.
This is kind of salty here, right? But it always blows my mind. You guys have that same foundation, learn from the same great sensei, but you can both still see wrestling at a completely different angle. And I think that's what's so great about the genre. Is you got that same base, but you both can take something so different away from it.
Sure.
But it still makes you, it blows your mind when you think, you're like, holy shit, to be able to see it in that light from that perspective and that understanding is a whole nother level.
Yeah. I mean, and that has to be learned through experience and training through a sensei like Rip. There's a lot of great ones out there right now. Like there's more than there's ever been to really go study with guys who understand it. And there isn't, I'm right, Vet's wrong, Hameen's wrong, I'm right. It's that there's 10 ways to skin the cat. There's unlimited creative choices and freedom when you understand the construct of how to put things together psychologically. It's a formless form. It's Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. You can fit any discipline into it you want, whether it's lucha, whether it's strong style, whether it's character, whether it's comedy. And when you understand that, and what the business is of what you're trying to accomplish here, you're Al on, Lions, Tigers, Bear and Head talking about doing business. People understand that's not just selling tickets and t-shirts. Like the business is getting putting heat on a heel, making a baby face, having a heel turn in friendships or some rift. Like, how do we get to the business and what is the trigger? Because that's what really sells tickets because people want to see the next chapter. And the only way to do that is to my sacrifice, pack your ass up and go to OVW, have Al ask you questions, get it wrong, sit there and shut the fuck up, watch them yell at guys who are contract like Cody or Ryback and Chet the Jet or whoever and be like, did we do it? And they're like, no, why? Because I had to get my move in and we didn't tell the story we need to. Now we got to do another. He's got to go rewrite. Like there's only a couple people that can really look at it from a high level who watched it and paid to learn that, and that's true with every art form. I can't sit down and paint a fucking Bob Ross painting, but there's people out there who spent thousands of dollars on art degrees who can do unbelievable shit, and they have masters too, whatever it is, whatever your instrument is. So that can come up with 100 different ways too. And they'll all be right to some degree. And he can justify why this move is this. And when you're doing art by committee, you say yes. You're like, oh, I like that idea. And my is, what do you think if we did this? And then I add my little layer on the sandwich. And he's inspired by that because he's accepting of what I'm saying. And it fits in with what his mindset was. And now we're collaborating and we're using both of our brains to ping pong stuff back and forth or even pitch it and take it down that road because it might not end where we want it to. So let's back up and go this way because there's more opportunity to mix in other people where storylines can then intersect. This is what we used to do in Revolver's cat piss apartment at Tuesday night after TV or before TV Thursdays. And me, Man Beast, and him, and sometimes Twinkle Toes would just put it all together. And Vet was doing it at his apartment with Richard Cranium, Susio, the fucking Kamikaze Kid Paradise. And then we all come together, even though we had the book, we're going to listen to their ideas because we're busting our asses in practice with them. We're all in the same thing. And if they're spending time on their business, hell yeah, I'm going to try and write it into the show as best I can, not go, no, my idea is only the right one, dude. Like, you think you're over? You ain't over. Let's start with that. Like, so the minute I would be trying to act like I'm over on Vet or Susio or Silvio, instead of going, let me see what these guys are doing and let's combine them with Richard Cranium, and then we can mix Al Snow in for the crazy and build, and it's pop and rip, and we're getting max value out of Richard Cranium coming in with he goes, 5 more weeks, my large package arrives, 5 more weeks. And it's like a Muppets run in, like, and then he runs out of the scene crazy. And the guys are like, what the fuck? Next week, 4 more weeks. Like, I can get that guy over with anticipation in 5 seconds for 5 weeks saying that shit. The large package arrives. It's fucking head when he opens it. It's, for Silvio and the Kamikaze Kid. And they're like, oh, fuck, that's his tag partner. Now we got crazy Al Snow, crazy Richard Cranium. And what they were trying to do is the rock star cool guys gets paid off at the highest level. And this is the student show. It's
Dude, that's
because
pretty good, because now you got those people hooked for over a month, wanting to see what's going to happen, what that big payoff is. And then when you show head, now they're definitely going to buy tickets to that big show.
Yes. And Rip did the same thing with Brian Alvarez and fucking Man Beast with Chico 8 weeks, and he did 8 weeks of promos, dude. 2 months of a build to get to one match. No one had to even be on the same coast.
Is that the one where out there where Beast was like out there asking for honks and all that out on the side of the road?
All that shit, dude. Like all great rednecks stuff and gimmicks, and to cut a promo on the camera, Chico, you chicken, your granny sucks, or whatever he was doing, like all kinds of the mobile Homer shit mixed in. Until he comes, and then he has an hour match with Man Beast because Man Beast can lead him through it. Like, it's crazy, dude. Like, that's how easy this shit is. So to see choices on TV that don't even come close to the simplicity of how it is to get somebody over when you've got a Chelsea Green or somebody like that, I'm passionate about my art form. It's hard for me to swallow, no work, amateur work. Killer Cross not getting anything. His wife just gets to say no on camera. Like, that's brutal. Like, you have the opportunity to paint a masterpiece and you're not doing it. Why don't you want it? Because of locker room politics. Heat, and so, like, wow, bro, I could not retard my own show and hurt the quality of the work that I'm passionate about to teach somebody a lesson. Like, maybe for 1 week, like, there's reasons to be suspended and things like that in a storyline, or injury, like I'm sure we're going to talk about, card subject to change.
Yep.
But to blatantly make somebody come to Towns, and then when they're leaving, the crowd is out back by the loading docks, and you go out there and they're chanting his name. Now, some people say, well, they got you. That's the work. They're trying to build it underneath the surface. Dude, no, that's the same as the Bryan Daniels shit, where they'll then take credit for it. That's how the worker's mind works. Yeah, dude, we knew what we were doing the whole time, how to build an underground fucking following. They'll say that. They didn't want to listen to the Yes movement till they finally had to. And it wasn't like they were doing it for heat. It's because he wasn't the chosen guy by them. They didn't look at him as a fucking gassed up freak who fucking whatever. And this guy could never beat anybody with technical wrestling. And we'll say who's over until the crowd hijacked the show. And the same thing will probably happen here. And then they'll act like we were so smart, we made this happen. That's the unsung silent heat weirdness of wrestling, bro. Like
Well, even in like
continues.
recent weeks with R-Truth.
Yeah.
Oh, we hear you. We're going to sign him back, but
Brutal.
now you're getting this version. You're getting this Ron
and it's
Gillies
not
version.
good. It's not good. You know, like that's the F you, instead of letting Cena get heat on him or having him turn heel and side with Cena because Cena's his hero. So wouldn't Cena make him dark side? You know, like now they're going to put him with Ford and Dawkins and I think Trick Williams maybe, or one other of the fucking talented NXT guys. And it's going to look like the new Hurt Business. Dude, fucking, I was livid. Not livid. It's wrestling. I'm stoic. I'm not trying to fucking get.
I didn't get lost.
I
in
was
that moment.
disappointed in the fact that what are we doing with Ford and Dawkins? They're supposed to be heels. Then they come out cosplaying Shawn Michaels. I'm blown away. So if you're doing the new Hurt Business, Black Empowered guys, they're imitating an old white guy now. Like none of it makes sense, man. Like these guys are A+ baby faces, but now
Yeah,
we're
not
going
even, not
down
even
this
like an old
weird
white guy,
road.
like a flamboyant, like borderline bisexual white guy. You know, that's it
Yeah.
was known for dancing around and shaking his ass, and
It's so weird in the choices that they make after what I just explained, where Rip goes, boys, this shit's so fucking easy. And it is. It's as easy as a guy doing 5 seconds of a run through. Instead, in the 5 seconds you gave Cross's wife, she says no. Like, dude, he can get things over with a look, looking like he's sabotaging everybody backstage. All we need is he's losing his mind and I'm reaping all the benefits. John Lovett's take from The Wedding Singer, and he can do that with a look without ever saying it. It's crazy that they sacrifice quality of the show. The fans don't understand really what's going on in doing that and why it's happening, except for what they read on the sheets. And those guys are tweeting themselves, and fucking whatever happened with Sap there this week was comedic, and maybe who knows on the internet, not true. I don't give a shit. But you know, I would want to make the best show possible with the most captivating characters and storylines used and edited at the highest point possible, so you want them more for next week. And we get oversaturation of NXT girls that nobody knows about except for only those people who watch NXT
that are in
and
that bubble.
Yeah, they act like this. I'm supposed to know what the fuck Sol Ruka's thing is. I don't know. She's gonna try and do too much, blow her knee out, and be on the fucking shelf. We've seen it with Tegan Knox. We've seen it with the Whoop Whoops and the fucking, like, I guarantee Sol Ruka will be a fucking champ on SmackDown within the next 2 to 3 months. He'll put the belt on her. That makes her credible in the fans' eyes. Like, whoops!
So instead of a proven tactic where you do have she has that gymnast background, good unique look to her, that surfer hippie chick kind of thing that resonates, good looking blonde, athletic. Instead of just slowly letting that build and burn and people getting to know the character and connect with it, they just think the moves are going to get over. Like you said, they're going to put they already got 2 belts on her right now, from the NXT to the Speed Show. And then
first time we saw her, she was in the ring on Friday. No introduction, no 30 seconds. Who am I? As I'm going to be used on the Evolution show. Like, no introduction, just, oh, you don't know Sol Ruka? She's over, bro, at NXT. Like,
that's what? A you problem.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's just crazy like that. And they think like that. And it's just like, no, dude, if I'm working my ass off for years in developmental and on the indies or whatever she comes from, or you said gymnastics, not easy to reach the top level there. You know what I mean? That's years of practice too. If I'm doing all that and I'm finally getting to be on SmackDown, I would like to be like, they're not going to step up and say anything because they're fucking rookies and they'll be sent down and how dare you talk to me. But if I'm debuting a talent as a director and a writer, a 30-second package of who this person is, or, a riff of Beach Boys guitar, something that I can start to identify her out of the gate of the crowd. Instead, they'll do these fucking matches, and 2-3 months from now, Steve will say, "Here come the vignettes." Like, why invest in a talent that much who is talented, and out of the gate, you've already sabotaged them. I don't understand that as a businessman for
Well,
return on investment.
it'd be like rolling out a new menu item without any promotional stuff. Just don't. Well, I don't understand why it's not selling.
Yeah, but then 3 months from now, the marketing hits. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, it's
Yeah,
nice.
it's well, you were on WWE. I know you were able to catch most of that content there. Let's talk about some of the big developments from the big company there. As you said, we had Friday night, we had Saturday night's main event, we had Evolution.
I'm coming down from my fucking pre-workout and fucking vitamins and shit right now. Everything's tingling, my muscles are deflating. I feel like I'm like, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't watch Evolution. No, I didn't.
Okay, so there are a few things in there I can guide you through, just a few talking points that I wanted to pick your brain with. But kind of tied into SmackDown and Saturday night's main event. The rumors were there, the rumblings were there. Now we know the direction. I think this is big. This is great for crossover PR. You know what? My mind's always there. But Jelly Roll with a big involvement now with the storyline going into SummerSlam. I was wondering, all right, who's gonna fit this role? You know, this is a great opportunity for them. Like him or not, no pun intended here. He is one of the biggest recording and touring artists in the world. Great crossover appeal, big time wrestling fan. I am big time on this pairing here with Randy Orton. A great spot for him. He's recognized as a WWE superstar, looks the role. I think Drew's great in there to help out with what they need. It's going to get him great recognition. And who better is the overall here than Logan Paul, who everybody just loves to see get punched in the face.
Yeah, I think these outside talents, man, even classic Hameen. Yeah, these CIA talents are absolutely killing it when they show up.
Yeah.
Whether it's Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, Travis Scott, kind of
is that part of the CIA training ops to go through wrestling school?
Are they becoming like great fucking workers? Like is Chavo working with the CIA to help these talents get ready?
Can we get Grip? Can we get Grip some clearance?
Can Rip will work CIA? You rotten cocksucker. You don't give a fuck as long as the check clears.
Hey Putin, you fat bastard.
Yeah, dude, really. And even Bert Kreischer didn't do bad, but like, you know, is like quick on the what needed to be while he's half in the bag. Pat McAfee's done unbelievable. I feel like they ran Pat McAfee off, bro. When they were ribbing on him at Mania because he's smoking vapes and stoned, like he gave them the ammunition to fuck with him. I think there's more to that story than Pat's burnout, bro. I really do. I think that guys, there was a couple times they were sabotaging him, ribbing him on camera. You know what I mean? And when the boys are talking, that means somebody's got it out for you and it's known. And now boys start ribbing about it. You know what I mean? Oh, he's got more heat than fucking da-da-da. Yeah. Oh, he smoked another one, buddy. If you fuck up like even a little bit, they're just waiting to jump on you, the wolf pack. So that's interesting to me. No one's covered that as much. Jelly Roll did a phenomenal job, you know, but I looked into him because I don't know much about him except for what I've seen in the mainstream. Out of nowhere, this guy comes around and we got The Rock putting him over. Bro, in 2017, you saved me. Oh, what happened in 2017? Did Rock's movie career really start to take off in some way? And, you know, I look in that Jelly Roll was a rapper that did like a mixtape on Lil Wayne or whatever, also Illuminati connected. And then I look at these talents and like whatever the crossover is in Nashville music scene, definitely Sony Music Illuminati connected. Of that town is kind of like the new little Hollywood in the last 20 years. You know what I mean? And now this crossover of hip hop, the appropriation, and mix it into country music. And then they even mixed the LGBTQ stuff in there with, I can't remember the goof's name, and Little Nas X or whatever, you know what I mean? Like trying to put it all in a blender, country music, rap, and gay rights. Like roll this fucking
they all
goof
go
out.
together.
Also, so now what do we have in the bigger messages? Appropriation of Black culture mixed into country culture for pop culture. 1, 2, the fat movement. This guy's massive. How about that other dude that sits on a couch, Kevin, whatever the fuck, the black fat guy rapper who's like 600 pounds. Lizzo. They tried to kind of start it with the blonde. I can't remember what her name was. Adele. and like normalize that. What else did we normalize? Jail, gangland tattoos. What was the tribal tattoo became the trash too with neck, to the point that Cody's got one. But you look at who's over: Post Malone, Machine Gun Kelly, Jelly Roll, all these shit face tattoos that say, I can never get a 9 to 5, and let your kids emulate me and fucking tattoo themselves like fucking South American Chicano gang members.
Now
bro.
Jelly has come out and said it was the biggest mistake of his life, and he highly regrets all that. He's
And
openly
why did
said
they
that.
do that? What pressure made him do that? Post Malone do that? Like these fucking things of perpetuating deep prison culture. Like these movements don't just happen because this cool guy decided I'm gonna do that because I'm white and doing it. It spins out of control, bro. See what I'm saying? Look at the
Mhm.
out of nowhere, this guy becomes a megastar singing any karaoke song that you could fucking give any asshole in Nashville and go, it's going to be top 40. You know what I mean? Whether it's Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow or whatever the frig. Like, all by design, all to promote morbid obesity, all to promote jailhouse culture to the cul-de-sac culture, all to get to do a Super Bowl Illuminati halftime show, all to promote Netflix and your fucking single that's being put out by Sony Music or whoever, all encapsulated in a synergistic marketing overarching ploy where anybody can be famous that we say will be famous if you follow these parameters of what we're trying to promote to keep people submissive, to keep people in the system, to keep people water cooler talking about the stars we say. And when through those stars, we will give them the poison products that we own and that they will consume. When I see guys like this, and even though the guy himself did a great job in performing, dude, it's no easy task to be in, to do the gym teacher match, to do the vice principal, the disc jockey spot, and do it, and then have him sell and fucking take Claymore and shit like that. 1,000 things can go wrong. I've done this fucking spot plenty of times, right? With from the dude from Framing Hanley to the local DJ, right? And they got to go over usually with a stunner or some shit simple. This is on TV, not in the local gym where all the kids are going to pop huge. They did a good job, and Logan Paul keeps delivering. And even in Logan Paul's promo, our fuck yous to Killer Cross. And look who's on TV responding to the shoot promo, and the guy has to take it and eat shit and go, they got him with that one, and let's see how he reacts. So they're sacrificing TV time to test Cross as well. And I don't know if the regular fan understands that when those things are woven in, that means they're spending time on the fuck you instead of what's the best thing.
Still hitting the height of the product. They're worried about the,
but they're doing both. They're doing both, but they're also going, we have plausible deniability. No, he meant this and it's a rib, but it's really gotcha, bitch, on Cross to some degree. And Cross knows that, and he'll stay silent and no sell it because he's
I say he knows how to play the game.
Yeah. His contract's got to be re-signed. So they're testing him even more. I think his contract's signed in the new contract in like the next month. So you put his wife on, she says no. And like they want to go, that's all we gave her. Like, do you see this as even a journalist watching? But like, like to me, the paranoia side of the wrestling mafia, when I see things like that, I think of Jamin Lavencia saying to me, week 1, everything is a test. Anytime anybody talks to you, it's a fucking test. Do not get close to anybody. Like they want to cut your throat. And that's when I see those types of things. It's a test. When Logan Paul comes down, uses his lines, even though it's a rib, because that's what he did. And he's saying the jelly roll, it's really off of Cross's promo. Will Cross sell when the word gets back to him? They're fucking with you, dude.
Yeah, you're sitting under the learning tree here. When you see those things, it was just her. Do you have anything to say? No. You could pick up on that, like, whoa, here. But also,
why would you do that to your
how
show?
much does she seize that moment to make it as impactful as she can, as a talent. Well, now, so on the cross thing, not everybody got to see this. I think they aired it for the international that don't go to commercial, like the Netflix people around the globe. But this past Monday, Cross did get a promo, but it was during a commercial break for us domestically here. And the crowd reaction is, we want Cross. And he's there like, we want me, you got me now. And he's going, talking about the Sami Zayn thing. What that kind of reaction, getting himself over, enticing the crowd to chant like that, what kind of reaction does that get backstage from those people?
Oh no, they're telling them to do that now. That's where they work with it, where they go out there and fire them up. Like and they come back and pop like, yeah, you got them. So it's like
is there a thing like
but
these
we're still
guys
not starting your storyline?
These guys are cheering for you. We didn't in their minds say we don't want that. So now we're going to punish you as a talent more, or
they wouldn't let him go out there and fire up the crowd like that if they didn't want it.
Okay.
They wouldn't.
Yeah.
The fact that they're letting him do it is to like get him to quiet down so they don't hijack the show, make Cross go, yeah, dude, you're getting over. We know we're going to keep riding this. But the fact is like that if you really wanted to do it, where's the break in reality? Why isn't Cross in Triple H's face or Triple H fucking with him a little bit and he doesn't want to peel back the curtain? We want to do it on the new unscripted show. That should be the crossover, pun intended, of the reality break. You know what I mean? Of what's going on and mess with them. If you're messing with them, like work together and go, we're going to mess with you on camera, but make it look this way. Right. It just, and maybe that's what they think they're doing, but if they are, they're still not getting full value out of it, and that's not how I would want to get crossover anyway. Like there's way higher roads to take than what they're doing. So
we got all sorts of puns going here this morning. Higher roads, carry the crowd. So there was that little just.
But right now they're pivoting. They're pivoting more than Seth can on his leg.
Well, I would say
for Seth, tough week.
Big time pivots, especially on Saturday night's main event. Seth Rollins buckles that knee. It looks like it had an immediate pivot there in the show itself. Seth carrying that case looks like he's going to be out. Seeing reports of like 8 to 9 months right now.
Yeah, I ended up blowing MCL, you know what I mean? And this guy's had knee problems. So to do these get your shit in crazy flip things at his age where he's going, I'm the future. Isn't he like 39, 40?
Been a decade into the Fed.
Yeah, dude. So, are you the future? Because your knee's saying otherwise. And it was a
springboard in that he regularly does, but he does have that knee injury. Guarantees he ain't gonna be doing that anymore.
Stevie's just broke this down. New review on Stevie Richards. Him and James right on it this weekend doing big content. Can't wait to watch it all over there on Stevie Richards' channel. That on the original springboard seemed wobbly. So going in before he hits the swanton and does that, and then the roll through to do the Jericho lion salt, but move on it and I land on my feet, knees already kind of twinged, instead continues with the spot to get your shit in on the move. This impressive, but if your knee's fucked, welcome to pro wrestling, bro. Like effed, right? And he knows it right away. Like, but even though we got to go into some shitty finish where he still feeds up, takes the skull crushing finale thing, and 1, 2, 3. That's just the way it goes sometimes, bro. The guy's legs blown out. We're fucked. What else can we do? Call an audible to come down and have your guys beat the shit out of LA Knight and they throw it out? Maybe. But if they're not there ready and waiting, it's not like, go get Bron. Like, you're going to be there for 2 minutes doing that shit. So that's just the way it goes sometimes. And the agreement we have with the audience to walk the tightrope, sometimes a performer is falling, you know what I mean? And that's just the way it goes after your body can only take so much. But double whammy, their house gets broken into on Monday and burglarized because, shocker, I wonder if they're home. Well, he's in the opening segment and his wife's in segment 4. Anybody who knows where they live and fucking their beachfront property goes, I don't think they're home. I think they're in Nashville tonight. And a pretty easy job, you know what I mean? So this could definitely be premeditated. and maybe somebody who even knows them who tipped off somebody to say, I'll give you the Iggy when I know they're not home. You know what I mean? And
Like I said, it's
then
not difficult. Follow social media, follow television, follow the touring schedule.
yeah. But now he's going to be home for a while. So, that's the whole thing. And
It's
this is going to be a test of their marriage too, bro, because he's going to have a lot of downtime in rehab, but how old their kid is, now follow them around and what needs to be done, and maybe taking them to play school or whatever, preschool. I'm not sure how old their kid is. Could
I
be
think
good,
she's
but is
about 2 or 3.
yeah, like like legs jacked up, tough to keep up with a 2 to 3 year old. So that means mama's going to be doing double duty, taking care of 2 babies for a little while,
And she's still
and
gotta go on the road
right.
for
So
Raws and
definitely going to
PLEs
be
and
some live-in nanny stuff going on, just because he's got to really focus on rehabilitation or just resting. And a 3-year-old wants to use you as a jungle gym, so there's got to be some, you know, adjustments in their home, maybe for the better, though, instead of being away from the kid, having dad there during the formative years while mom's doing it, or right there and got to take care of business. So be it. But right now, she is the man of the house. So what Becky says
the
fucking
bond.
goes, dog. What Becky says goes. And, regardless of how I don't like superplex Falcons arrow kick out. The guy blew his knee out. He's a worker. He's at the top of the game. He's in the spotlight. He's over with his entrance. I tried to help, but I was shocked that the Messiah could not heal his own leg and walk again. That's where I was really thrown off here. But no, when we were alleged, consultants, I tried to write as much captivating biblical level stuff for him as they only want to scratch the surface. I mean, that character had a lot of opportunity to talk in a very biblical way and do things. The Bible's got a lot of stories in it. you
Yeah,
know
the booking
yes,
idea is just flip the Bible open and then just
yeah,
point to a page. You're gonna get something decent out of
right,
it.
right. So I was hopeful at one time, but whatever. The guy's the top guy. He doesn't give a shit what I think. My point is, we're all in this mafia at some level. Homeboy blew his leg out. That sucks, bro. And it might be, I hate to say this, the best thing for Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, because casting them in the AOP role while trying to still get them over wasn't doing them the favor they needed. That was going to give them reps with a top guy in Heyman and learn a little more on the job. There's plenty of that positivity effect of it, but they had them on a train, and then when as individuals, and then they became second and third tier
What's
guys.
So what would you envision is you've seen situations like this. You get an unforeseen injury. You have got to pivot quick. This is this is the Spotlight program faction they got going on. How is the coaching, the direction now for these two? And I know Reed's not so young, but he's fresh there to have this opportunity, but especially with someone like Braun.
Yeah, I think Bronson Reed really paid his dues in NXT from I remember when he brought his wife in at the end of the cage match. I was like, that's a mistake, dog. Like, you're giving him a piece of you to, like, I understand you're honored for what you did there, but
Well, he had a setback there. Remember, he was sent home. He disappeared there, and it took a while to get back to where he's at here now.
Yeah, but that's being in the bubble there now, and now he's got real lions telling him how things go, right? Like, right. I'm sure he went from a private in the military to a fucking major very quickly.
You got one of the ultimate workers, the hustler himself, not the hustler, but a hustler, and Paul Heyman right there in his ear
that's
constantly.
What I'm saying, right? Like, the wisdom is just a master's doctorate level degree being around those guys to, like, hey, be careful. This guy's trying to work you. And this is, like all that shit. So, there's money written on both of them. I like Bronson Reed. I was always a big Bam Bam Bigelow fan. He's probably the closest thing I've seen to Bam Bam, You know what I mean?
Very high praise.
Yeah, I think he could get there. I think he really could. And to make a heel out of, I hate to even, Braun Steiner. I don't even want to call him Braun Breaker. Braun Steiner is ridiculous. The crowd is out there doing the dog bark. Means you're over. Do you want to be
one more when he's out there
Yeah.
scaring the shit out of one of the,
So-
supposed to be one of those most over babies, and they're cheering for more spears.
Right. So we need to be smart with what we're doing, and can Heyman manage them both? And maybe we do something old school ECW where it seems like the triple threat, and then they break up because of, and they got to step up. But now we're just going to focus on these guys' solo careers in mid card. I think that's a good way to go. My favorite things always used to be, I mean, obviously I liked, all of wrestling, but when it came to Macho and Hogan, that wasn't my thing when I was a fan watching. I always wanted to see Brett when he was going from tag team to mid-card singles, Mr. Perfect, Ravishing Rick Rude, Jake Roberts, Bam Bam. All the mid-card guys were way more impressive to me than what was going on at the top of the list. And that's right where these guys are now. If we can come up with some classics that will go in the books and really establish them being backup muscle for Seth, just getting heat on his opponent before Seth takes him to soften him up. That's not max value out of either of those guys,
Obviously, there in the show, it looked like some major, if we're talking major storyline here with the focal point with Seth, but it seemed inside of that show, a lot of speculation that maybe not a full cash in, but they were going to do a tease in that main event.
Yeah, something happened there where you had to call an audible for sure.
So I'm going to say, first of all, kudos to Goldberg going out there and pulling 20 minutes to close that thing. And to Gunther for, living up to the moniker. It's just not a moniker. It is what he is, a ring general.
I was very impressed. I mean, actually, the lockup, the first lockup was so bad. Like, I'm like, here we go. Oh, the lockup was so slow, so phony, like wrestling school day one. And then it kind of went, I mean, there was a couple things, but bro, I've worked a lot of legends and I'm no cardio machine or what have you. And you got to do it a certain way to protect the guy and his age and how he moves. I thought Goldberg did a great job in this, bro. One of the best Goldberg matches maybe ever, to be honest with you. Pop me though, before he comes out, he headbutts the door. You hear the door doof and almost give himself a concussion. So same dumb shit, but I popped for Ernest the Cat Miller.
I was going to say, did you get a little pop from the nostalgia? You had Doug Dillinger, the head of security and all that. And
yeah, all of it. They're all like, that was done well. And his kid was there. I thought they could have used his kid more. I thought that
I was surprised about that.
I didn't like the spot where they used him to like have security take him back. And shout out Ben Boone security, my guy Ben Boone. Yeah, still, I wish they would make Ben Boone a legit character in WWE, like how we had Atlas security. They need Ben Boone security. He's worked security at least 20 times for them on Raw throughout the Northeast to the Tennessee area, bro. He travels and he always does a kick-ass job. And he was an indie guy, and now he's in good ass shape. And they use him. Call it what it is. I think Boone security would be badass. And actually get real guys like how Atlas used to be in ECW.
Get me Boone.
And he can go in and work a match and get killed by somebody and make it look fucking good. So, sorry, before we got off on that tangent, we were talking about
the Goldberg match, just how good that they did.
I thought that like Gunther could have stayed on Goldberg, choking him out, getting heat in Atlanta. Then his kid comes in and drops one on Gunther and starts fucking punching him or what have you. Or we got to work on making sure the punches look good. Or like the fact that he peels him off, Gunther stands up, gives his kid something and leaves them both laying. You know what I mean? I thought it should have been overbooked heat at the end. Kid run in, not kid jumps the thing in the middle of the match and we go back. It was good for having feet in for like pull time for Goldberg to get his air up to do his comeback. Like I understand why, but if Gunther's going over and the kid's getting mixed in, it should be Gunther standing over both of them at the end, leaving them both out. That's the most heat. You know what I mean?
But I'm curious, how much of that was originally planned in. They got to, call that on the fly because you got the audible. Because a lot of people working the assumption that Seth and his gang were going to get involved somewhere in there. Because there was a lot of speculation during the Seth injury. Was it a shooter or a work? Were they playing possum? He takes the loss there, then reemerges later in the show to cash in, or at least tease
you're not
one.
wrong. The question is, do you go away from the game plan and how much versus we're not doing that. I need to get maximum heat, but we already got the spot plan with the kid in the middle, so let's not switch it. Like, it's easy for me to armchair quarterback and go, well, this would have got more heat. But if X plus Y equals Z and X is off the board and now we got Y, it doesn't equal Z anymore. So we have to not go too far and call audibles that we normally might on a show that doesn't have as much hype. This is Saturday Night Main Event. We got to do what we got to do here. The kid knows his spots in the middle. We're not switching it, as opposed to,
he might, he's not that seasoned veteran that, hey, we got to rework this entire thing. He's
That's
probably out there. He's out there sweating balls and bullets just to get this one spot right. Not
100%, bro.
Even the end of it, because you could tell it was really weird how they cut to that commercial with like 6 minutes left. And my speculation here is WWE's about that feel good moment. Let's talk about something as we go off the air. I think that commercial break was so they could get everyone together to do an off-air segment, to get all those people in the ring, to give that feel good of Goldberg standing up with those people around him. I don't think we were ever intended to see that. That was supposed to be an off-air in the arena treat for those fans, as opposed to
just add it with Gunther up. I don't mind that because it kills Gunther's.
I'm okay with Gunther. Yeah, with Gunther winning, that's fine. I don't know what was supposed to happen with Seth. If everything went to plan, we were supposed to be sitting here talking about a new champ.
It probably was supposed to be just for the live house or the internet afterwards, because in the TV show experience, you just got choked out. You don't want the guy back on his feet,
standing right back up, right?
Like, so you very well may be correct on that we should have gone home, but they kept it rolling and go, you know what, fuck it, those in. But we got to go.
We got to have a feel good moment to close on instead of the dominating champ and the veteran laying there, just spitting up bubbles, choked out.
Right. Like they're the kid over his dad, like, dad, and Gunther's like, ha ha. And then tonight, after when Gunther's talking shit or whatever, the kid comes out of the crowd and jumps on his back and fucking you know what I mean? Tries to avenge his father. Like, but instead they showed it and then acted like, oh, Bret Hart flipped the switch, all the memes and
all the memes that are out there.
So is it my paranoid wrestling mind goes, yeah, did they do it to undermine him and go, you were never over fucking, even that you were WCW, like that old school heat. But I think your reasoning is probably more appropriate, but they just overbooked it to say keep the cameras rolling instead of editing at the high point and showing that this whole thing's phony as shit, bro. And him standing up there doing the thank you Atlanta, I love you and my friends promo kills the reality that, like, that this is all a play, everybody. Good night, curtain call.
Curtain call. And we'll give him his roses and
shit like that. And now you did so good. They're waiting for balloons in the hallway and shit. Like, no, you do that tonight, but they wanted to do it in Atlanta, you know what I mean, and get over it. But they never should have shown that. I agree. And added the show with Gunther's heat. Now it means nothing and wrestling's phony, which we all knew it was phony. Yeah, dude, but why are we breaking the reality? Well, he deserves it. Okay, then they cut to commercial and they fucked him over. So they did it just to fuck him over and let him try and have his moment so everyone could go, we can put an asterisk next to it how WWE effed up Goldberg's final speech. Like, what are we talking about here, IWC? Like all these little back and forths where they act like they know, they should have just edited at the high point.
Could there have been with WWE a big week in Atlanta? They want those talking points coming out, especially with All In going on. They want to be the talk of the wrestling town. With if Seth was expected originally planned to cash in there for a big movement, and we have to pivot. Do you think that was possibly the reason behind Naomi cashing in a night later to get that big moment to have people talking?
Maybe
in a creative way.
card subject to change, like where are we going into SummerSlam? That's the question out of Saturday night's main event. So will they keep it on Naomi short term to have babies up at SummerSlam? That's what it comes down to. They at SummerSlam and WrestleMania usually want babies up. So what heat are we just going to hot potato the belt back and forth? Are we going to keep heat on Naomi if she's over with the belt now? So there's a bunch of different.
She got a good reaction. And what's interesting about the Naomi is, they were continuing to tease her cashing in on SmackDown against Tiffany, and of course, still in that time because Jade gets the challenge for that at SummerSlam. That was it. So she just takes the Raw title. She jumps into that match. By the way, I know you didn't get to see that. You get to check it out a little bit. Those women, they killed it. Io and Rhea. They did like a 3-part story. Started in the ring, went out, and then came in for the closing act where the cash in. People raving about it. They did a hell of a job. They saw the entire weekend what they had to do, went out there and killed it.
Good, man. I was just, by the time UFC and Saturday Night Main Event was done,
I feel you. I was looking, to me, Evolution was the show of the weekend. Another a cool thing out of that, and we had covered this. Remember going back a couple of weeks ago when we thought it might have gotten some backstage heat on Chelsea? Maybe she'd gone into her business for herself when she threw out there on social media to Nikki Bella, hey, let's do this at SummerSlam. Some very entertaining interaction between those two in the Battle Royal.
Really?
A big pop for the Bella Army. She has that fan base out there, but Chelsea comes out and does her little thing to get, her little pop with the Secret Service, and Nikki steps in the middle. She's like, let me show you how it's done. She gets a little bigger pop. So in the match, they do the Bella dance off against each other. So they're teasing some stuff. And I think if you're going to do something with Nikki, Chelsea is absolutely the talent's going to get the best out of it.
Yeah, as long as we don't plan too many spots where they have to remember a lot. You know what I mean? It should be one-upsmanship in the match.
Simplified. You should have seen the pop just for those two doing the little swirl with their ass.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
That's the tease of it, right? But then the bell rings and we actually have to do something when it's one-on-one. So I think there's some very simple match structures. And like I said, the work can handle anything if you understand the formless form. And to cover Nikki Bella's ring rust and to do more character work between the two and one-upsmanship is the foundation of there's our form. How do we fit those pieces in and come up with creative spots from the past and looking at other matches and making it our own and then plugging it back into that format so we understand where we're going in the shine to the heat, and where I get to show emotion, and then the Secret Service has to be neutralized. Is that where Brie comes back, hits a fucking splash on them both, which is the Han Solo, you're all clear, kid, to blow up the Death Star and fucking, while she's fucking, oh my God, the roll up happens and fucking show tights and show butt crack or whatever you want to do to take from Rick Rude. Like there's hundreds of opportunities to fit things in, but how do we do it to make sure it's entertaining and we're not just out here wrestling? You know what I mean? Neither of those acts are wrestling acts.
Right. We don't need a technical, the rope work, the move set, just entertain.
Right. What can we do that nobody else is doing too? Like
that's what do it unique, do it special, stand out with it. Another big note from Evolution. She's been on that PR campaign. She's been doing every interview. She's penned a deep, heartfelt letter that got put out there. She's been drumming up that sympathy card. Big positive reaction for Charlotte Flair. And I don't know if it was like the perfect storm. She did all that PR work this week. They have tagged her with Bliss, who is so beloved. And they were in Atlanta, which, WCW, which is an extension of Flair country. But that crowd was very positive for her. We haven't seen in a long, long time.
Well, it's because they did business, as Al would say. What is the business right now between Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair?
Of building can they coexist together?
Can they coexist? Exactly. And in the match, what did Charlotte Flair do?
Saved Alexa's ass.
Saved her.
And I thought the facials, the story they told, even with Bliss, like, oh my God, you did this for me. It was a great shot of like the big, of Charlotte with her arm over. I got you.
Yeah. This is the exact example of what doing business is. It doesn't have to be the whole storyline doing business. Yeah, that's it too. Right now,
That moment
Charlotte
captured
is
it.
hated because she's been a narcissist, which means I'm just into myself. She's now shown that she has been thrown into this to rebuild and is humble and saved her partner. Is it for her own greater glory or not? But she is building trust with the audience. That was the business for this match. Here's your opportunity. Either I get hit by the truck and you save yourself, or you pull me out of the way and I say thank you and we build trust. That's all we needed to do in this chapter.
All in a simple moment.
In a moment, bro. That's what it is. Now, could we have gone a bunch of different ways with Charlotte? Yeah, we can talk to her blue in the face, but they're going this way. And I'm fine with it because it's a choice. And in the match did the business. And now you said, well, how are they reacting to Charlotte?
They're very positive. It was so surprising. Like, oh my God, it's like this is the same Charlotte that they've been reacting to for the last year or so.
And all you need to do is say, are you going to be a bitch and save yourself? Or are you going to do the right thing? Did the right thing. Virtue is building. Will she do now? How many times can we come up with a game to heighten and explore to build trust with the audience and the tag partner? So then maybe all that trust really does make her virtuous and goes on a babyface run, or we're building all that trust and then what happens? If you build all that trust, she can go on a babyface run, or you build all that trust and then
and then she takes it right back. She just turns
on them, and then the heel turn means something, and it was all bullshit. It was all about me. But if we have these moments where we fuck with the audience's heartstrings and they want to believe in you, you want to believe your bratty teenager is going to turn into a nice kid and not fucking rob the safe again for heroin money, like fucking yeah. Or they're going to come back and do it again, like.
But either way, they got them.
Yeah, but if we build that trust, we get to that point where we then can take another split in the road. And this one, you go and become Glenda the good witch, or you're the fucking bad witch and it was all a lie. And the human greed is a very powerful emotion that it's I'm tempted by gold, a very Gollum storyline that I will then betray my friend who was allegedly my friend, or I just used you to get to this point.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
There's a number of ways because it's funny because thank you to the cast. I just get clips saying lean into that bully list. You're number one. Lean into that. They go in a completely different direction, and it's a huge payoff. And it worked
because as much of they love you when you turn and betray them, that's how big of a heel you are. If you're just in the middle, then you're not really doing anything. So right now we need to build more trust. How many positions of danger or helping to dodge a bullet on Alexa Bliss can she save and take for her, sacrifice herself for her? And even then, Alexa pushes her out of the way and takes one knowing. So we have a one-upsmanship of I'm going to save you. Now we really trust each other and the crowd, and then we do the virtuous thing. And then we have a choice to make. It's interesting. And that's where, like, maybe we don't have anything for a big heel turn yet. Let's play it by ear. Let's get through 6 weeks. But what are the other opportunities creatively that we have to heighten and explore getting Charlotte on this path so they believe that she's finally got redemption and I can be a good person? Because is in all of us, in the bad choices we make, that I can be redeemed.
I mean, that's a human nature, no matter where you're at. I see it regularly, in my journey through the rehab stuff, is that story of, man, I went to this such bad, evil place. I know that's not me inside, but how do I make that journey back?
And can you be tempted back to the side of the self-destruction?
And that's a great story to follow there. They've got something that's special.
It's human nature, bro. And it's that simple. It's that simple of pulling her out of the way, and then the other person eats shit, and now the crowd's with you.
Even the worst person out there imaginable, if they save a kid from getting hit by a car, jump in and sacrifice themselves, they're going to be dubbed that hero on the paper.
Isn't this what we did with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline? That's exactly why it worked.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, they
So
were right there.
yeah.
But yeah, so a big week there for WWE. Again, I think Evolution was the best show of the weekend. The ladies' main event absolutely
Good.
killed it. Had that big moment with Naomi. But let's switch
And
gears here.
I think why, not just say because the work rate or this was whatever. I talked about this on Friday with Matt. Don't have expectations. You're lost in a sea of wrestling this week. Just go out there and do your art form. And if it shines, it shines. And don't worry about hitting a number or Saturday Night Main Event did this and we only did that. If the show fucking rocks, people are going to be talking about it later and they'll go back and watch it where they want to, or they'll be like, well, the last one fucking kicked ass. It's because the pressure's off. If you just take it off and be like, it's oversaturation. Let's just go do our fucking thing and, do it the best we can. Then, like, you're going to be like, ours shit's going to outshine Goldberg, Gunther. It's going to outshine. Like, then if it doesn't, you're setting yourself up for sad trombone.
Yeah, it's someone had mentioned there in the chat. It's funny we got such a great show from Evolution because it was like the least hyped, the least invested in. But they stepped up their game. They did it. Let's switch gears. Let's talk about the 9-hour marathon. Actually, in the record books, just for the pay-per-view portion of All In, just from 3 till 8:30, 9 o'clock, it actually was the longest running wrestling pay-per-view in history. Tony Khan had a unique opportunity here. First of all, your thoughts? I thought that the production was tremendous here. The stadium looked great.
Stadium looked excellent.
This is the biggest stage they've had domestically. The big stadium show down there in Texas, the Ranger Stadium. They stepped up their damn game. This was probably the best AEW from production and arena look that I've ever seen. So they did an incredible job there.
I can't disagree. I think the fans came out for it. They got the people there.
They had a good energy. They pulled back a little bit at certain times when there's some matches they weren't as invested in, but they were able to rev them right back up. 9 hours from the 0 hour to the final bell in the main event.
It's interesting because I put on Woodsman shows that go about 7.5, because we've got 16 events with X amount of competitors. So it's an all-day marathon. And to see wrestling done that
breaks and moving around, right?
Well, yeah, but there's not a lot of downtime. Like, in comes the loaders, in comes the forklifts, moves the stanchions. 20 guys are moving blocks, getting them lugged in. Maybe 3 to 5 minutes between setup time, and usually even less than that. Sometimes just 1 minute, depending on how we're going and how we got things set up. So, they did a good job of keeping it moving, and mixing their flavors of Baskin Robbins 31 different in there. I thought from what I saw, Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné, one of them, Sasha Banks' better matches, and they overbooked some stuff, but it was for the title, so it was fine.
I wanted to ask you about that, but first, with this long runtime and the wrestling war that everybody loves to get worked up in here, this was a good opportunity for Tony Khan to get a shot in himself at WWE. And now I'm seeing some reports that it was planned. He knew he had that lead in. He had people hot for this thing. They've already paid. They're locked in. Intentionally run that show, that overrun into Saturday night's main event to pull away from that national broadcast. It's going to be interesting to see those quarterly numbers to see if they were a slow start for WWE because people were hooked into AEW still.
Could be. And Tony Khan should be playing every dirty trick possible. When you're number 2, you don't have to hold the standard. You can be the terrorist organization and build your underground fan base off of it. That was what 2CW's foundation is a Northeast Indie, is to poke the bear as much as possible. And will they come back and market in your same town and try and usurp your audience? Will it hurt? Yeah, but that's them selling. Like, they don't want to sell. They just want to win. When you can get them to sell for shit and start mentioning stuff on air or what have you, that's, now you got some cracks in their foundation and you have credibility. So Tony should do that. If that's what he did, he should do that and more. You know what I mean? And should have somebody, they also say, oh, you don't want to mention your competition. Nah, dude, like Shane Douglas got over by throwing title in the fucking garbage can, like bang bang on him. Like people should be, you should have one or two characters that totally blast everybody in WWE. And like Ricochet could be one of those guys. He does it on Twitter enough. Like let him bang on let him clap on him. Let MVP clap on him, bro. Like those guys have all the credibility of WWE and they could be your shooters. So that will get your hardcore fan base like, yeah, we're pro AEW, fuck them, and da da da. And like, can you believe they're saying that? I can't wait to see what WWE is going to say back. And then they won't say nothing back. And then they'll go, oh, you pussies. And then they'll tune back in AEW, and then you have them smash on them again. Pick a soft spot, play it like Killer Cross. You're welcome over here, bro. We'll give you more than 30 seconds of fucking TV time. Like, call some people out. Like, dudes, you know who are boys. Kevin Owens, hope you come back soon, dog. Like, say some shit.
That would be kind of funny if you just had Ricochet over there. Like, we're going to take 30 seconds for dead air for Killer Cross. And then just do that on Dynamite, just sit there for a little bit.
Somebody could be fucking ribbing and coming out as Cody and doing a impersonation like they're doing on Kill Tony and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like people, the Dr. Phil shit. Like there's a lot of stuff that they could be doing that's out there that you take from that shows you're hot and you're in tune. Even though WWE's got Tony Hinchcliffe, they didn't show any of the Kill Tony shit they did because they're scared. They're scared, bro. Like there's plenty of guys who will come over and do that crossover if you pay them the right way.
Yeah,
so I say lean into it. It's time to get real fucking guerrilla tactics with this shit. And the Young Bucks know this. They came through 2CW. We use them to F you to WWE. So, and it's not like Josh doesn't talk to Nick and Matt. So, if you need brain trust of how to come up with guerrilla warfare, it ain't, the pro wrestling, the PWG guys can do it, carry it out, but there's plenty of things that we can rehash that were FUs that will get WWE to sell. Absolutely. And Tony can have fun with it. He'll look like the, you know what I mean? Like the kid who doesn't.
His fan base will embrace that too. They'll rally around that. So that's kind of like a calling call to bring them together for like a grassroots campaign to rise up against the machine together.
100%. I would have somebody planted in the scrums asking anti-WWE questions that are like blatantly sarcastic how we did it, or he's a WWE lover. How do you compare yourself to Triple H and the way he does things? Like blatantly calling dudes out so he has to answer them and have your answer ready that it's politically comedic and gets the job done at the same time. Why not?
As Mike started to say, Tony takes it too personally. That's why you have somebody coaching him through that. They got him with it.
Yes.
Like, don't worry about this, man. We got this thing. We'll coach you through how to answer this. But yeah, when you're on that chase, rally your troops, get them going. There is an opportunity there. She said, Mercedes Moné, Tony Storm.
Trying to be the cool kid when you're not the cool kid is the wrong move. You know what I mean? In the end of the day, it's not big muscle dummies from high school that end up running the world. Who ends up running the world?
The guy that runs this company right now, Tony Khan.
Fucking Bill Gates, every fucking nerd that was ostracized in high school. Like, which one is Tony Khan? Is he the big muscle dummy or is he the ostracized?
He wasn't on the right end of the swirlies, I'm sure.
No. So, like, dude, you have the opportunity to be the anti-establishment. Don't try and be like, I'm as cool as them. Be everything that they're not, bro. Like, be punk rock in that shit. And don't be apologetic when it comes to the guys who are disenfranchised, because what's going to happen if Ricochet, this is the Mafia side, if Ricochet came out and blasted them in the ring every week and we did a Triple H character, you know what I mean? Comedic rib or whatever. And even if Tony Khan played Nick Khan and we did Master Shoot Theater type stuff, they're going to eventually sell for it. And what are they going to do? They're going to want to hire Ricochet back. Why? Because he's making waves now, because he doesn't care. He's out of the bubble, and now he's a free artist to do what he wants to and say what he wants. Then they will hire him back because it looks like he's a hot property. This is the CM Punk formula, by the way, for a high price to then make him miserable and make sure he gets to WrestleMania because the people all love him because he speaks truth. And then in WrestleMania, you will lose in the main event and you'll never get back to the main event again. But along the way, you made $17 million for your misery. Like, this is how you work the system, right? But if we're just going to play it safe and do flip bumps and cruel tweets that we delete, what are we really getting out of it? And we're not getting the millions of dollars that we could be if we really incited our fan base to be, this is my thing. He's talking shit about Triple H. That was what ECW was all
This
about.
is the time to do it right now. You haven't been hotter than in your short existence than you are right now coming off of this show. This is the time to rally.
I disagree with that. If you have 600 to 700,000 viewers and you don't have 1.4 million like when you started, you are not
coming out of this show. You're buzzing. This is a time to rally, everybody.
You put on a good show, you have momentum. I'll leave it at that. Now, where are we going to go? Are we going to stop trying to be, we compete neck and neck with them, and these are the graphs of how they're like, dude, nobody cares about graphs, charts. That's for the analytic dorks and Meltzer and those apologists. You have the opportunity to do the cool shit, the outside of the box shit, the I see you, bitch, and I got them, and fucking become memes and start disinformation and propaganda campaigns online, anti-Triple H, fucking rib Stephanie in her podcast, rib Cody. Nobody knows why Cody left.
Or
nobody.
Well, we were talking about business practices about just raping you at the bank account.
Yeah. All that kind of shit, bro. Like there's a lot of stuff that can get middle school lunch tables talking. And that's what you need.
What's important here, as you said, and artist mentioned here, you get them talking about that and not the numbers like the ratings and the graphs and the shit like that.
Right. Dude, ECW had the best show. They didn't have, I had to wait.
They had no audience. They had no audience, but they didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Right.
So no, like that to me is cool. Like that, you have the opportunity to be cool. Don't try and be out jock the jock. You're not going to win that way. Go watch Revenge of the Nerds. the whole postulate is there.
Yeah, there we go. So the other big main event, you talked about the ladies. They had a hell of a match there. I'm sure you got to see the actual Moxley and Hangman. They threw everything at the wall, and I wanted to ask you about that there. Oh. In a big payoff match like this, to me, there was too much there. And if you like that kind of wrestling, then you absolutely love that. To me, it's really live when you take a DDT onto a bed of nails, and that's nowhere near the finish. I'm a little lost on it, but I do understand. I mean, this is the highest stakes. This is your big payoff. You've been over almost a year building this thing for something like this, so you're going to throw everything at it. Your thoughts on what you saw there for the main event, the death match?
Yeah, I mean, this is a Baskin Robbins 30-second flavor of ice cream. Like, this is the old school FMW shit. This is Foley and Funker and Japan and then some, you know what I mean? I'm sure they took it from guys that don't even know their name. It sounds like Fukushima or Yokohama or some shit. And this is what they want to do. And if that's how they do their art, then I'm glad, because guess who's not doing that on the show? Me, daddy, me. And I'll still get to the main event with character and storyline. But for some reason, these backyarders, they think that the more blood they shed, red equals green. And they're not wrong when it's in the right spot. And this may very well have been the right spot. So they want to go down in history as the masochistic necro butcher match. That's what they wanted to do. Nobody else on the show did it. So I'm fine with it being on there.
I actually liked, the payoff for the story is you had.
Here's what I don't like is guys gigging other guys. I think that's not a good precedent to set because
he was jacked right in the forehead there.
Because indie guys are going to fucking copy that. And sure, there can be indie hardcore. Matt Tremont just had a sick one. There's blood squirting out of his head. But my guy Casanova Valentine.
I saw that with the straight up.
Like these guys, that's their grindcore art version of wrestling. The work can handle anything, and if it's in the right spot and the story's right, I got no problem with it. I liked that shit too. When it's done the right way. If you're Cactus Jack and you know what you're coming to show up to do, like it ain't gonna be a fucking 5-star technical classic. So they paint with their brushes how they do. I just think we can get color. The other guy stabbing you that's gonna end badly because some fucking idiots in Philly are gonna see that and fucking it's gonna go real bad real quick. And
I'm thinking now, like, instead of the "don't try this at home," don't try this on your shitty indie disclaimers.
Yeah, good luck, because you just put it in your main event. And what's the message is, you want to get to the main event, this is what you got to do. And some 6th grade, 7th grade backyard kids are watching that who don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and they're going to do that with mom's fucking kitchen knife on somebody's fucking head. It's going to happen.
That's the point. And that's where you walk that fine line. But I actually enjoyed the story of all of the troops in AEW rallying together, even, these enemies that swore that they would never help each other. And you laid out this story plenty of times about how do you unite, blood enemies, is you have to have a common enemy so vile and disgusting that you're forced for this. So, I mean, you could feel that emotion of Swerve, coming to help him here. And you had the big pop with the return of Brian. And I like the touch of, they put over in the commentary that Darby's ascending from the top of Mount Everest when he comes in. Those things worked for me. It was, it was kind of a cool little cheap pop in there.
He just jumped and fucking was able to squirrel fly
that's where, back. That's where he's been. You could see Darby, that little mother, instead of a big squirrel flying in there.
That'd be fucking funny. I would actually pop big for that.
But that for the story, all coming together, I enjoyed that part.
Here's what kills me:
the death match stuff got me.
But like I said, that's in 9 hours. You got a lot of flavors to get through, and that was that one, right? So it might not be yours, but in the underground, to show that they are underground still, and they have that. I got to put over 2CW. Did the same thing with Jason Axe. His matches were the hardcore ones, bro, and he would come back fucked up, but the crowd is loving it. And then hit my music, and you got something else completely. But he's out there spilling his blood because we're making the best underground show possible. And that's part of the show that we need. So when a guy like that does that, it's not about my seg's the best. Did 2CW deliver the best show possible to the people of Binghamton? Are we going to do the same thing in Watertown, but do it in a different way because the stories line up this way, but the show still needs to be crafted the best way possible. Strangler Steve's great at that, bro. So that's what these guys were trying to do there. That's why I don't have really hardly any issue with it, except for letting somebody else gig you. Like, that's not a good precedent to set, Sorry, the other match we were talking about with the Bucks, and I've seen this, and this is where I go, oh, they're way more over, way more rich than I'll probably be, but I think they have all the magic and the cool guy stuff and the anti-establishment stuff. And people are like, this is flip-floppy choreographed shit. There's a spot for that too. So when they're doing the fucking waterfall shit or the shotgun stuff where it's kick you, fade back, other guy comes in, hits me, boom, I stagger back, feed out, kick him, back down. Then we're lined up, hit the double code red. Fine. I'm fine with all that because it's ping pong, opposite guy, sell, come back to life, hit it, get the double flip shit in because it looks cool. And that's what they are here for, the video game stuff. Because everybody who was kind of on the stumble feeds out the right way because we set it up. What I don't like is after you then hit the code red, the guys no sell, stand up and throw double clotheslines, and then everybody dead cells. How were you alive from the code red to stand up to do that? They get so close, and like I said, people are like, who the fuck is this guy? Worked plenty of shows with the Bucks, man, and I've seen him sell millions of dollars in t-shirts. I don't begrudge them any of that, but it's their style. When they get to that, I don't understand why they go no sell my fucking code red and then hit me with something because you're alive and then dead sell. That's where the OVW Rip Rogers and me and Al Snow, my brain feels like it gets split apart, ripped apart inside my head, bro. Because I'm with it. Wow, yeah, that, huh? And then I go,
Just
what?
a small little tweak.
What? You came to life, hit somebody with something, and now you're knocked out because you didn't get hit with something. So the crowd can go, this is awesome. I just don't like that in my wrestling. It's the same as superplex, Falcon's arrow kick out. You know it's coming. And instead of winning with it, so it's a believable falsie, or the fact that do that shotgun, hit the code red, let them both sell, right? They sell, they both sell up to the ropes. They're fucked up. The Young Bucks come up, they point at them, switch, the guys give them an up and over the top, and then you hit them again with something on the way in, and everybody's down. Or else they catch you as you come in to like get them with something, and everybody hits and we all fall down. It's that last two moves where they no sell and then dead sell. It makes no sense to me. And there's nothing. I've talked to Ciampa about this, how they like to go up the ladder and the spots and the wahs, and we can do that. That's fine, but we gotta find a way to not be doing whatever that is, where I come to life and no sell your shit, hit my shit, and then I die after I hit my shit. Like, when have you ever seen that in a fight? I knocked the guy out, but I'm knocked out too. He didn't hit me again, but I'm knocked out. I just got tired and fell asleep. Like, it kills me, bro, because then those guys' work could be so good that no one could critique it, right? But that's a huge hole for me. And, you know, I'm sure Don Stevens will stooge it back, and then Nick and Matt, I'll see him at 2CW and we'll be cordial and it'll be whatever. But I just want the match to be as good, as great as possible. And that takes away from greatness, in my opinion.
Ben, anything else you want to hit on there from All In or the big weekend that was?
No, man. I think everybody is oversaturated, but they still seem positive about it. So I guess it's how much wrestling can we handle if the entertainment is there and the community's behind it and they're with it. I know I heard Al Snow's got a big show coming up in August, and they were trying to rib about pre-sales being low or what have you. So you know what? I say, like, rally the community, man. If you're going to be near that show, I had just found out about it. There's 900 seats available. Let's pack it out, man. Let's show that Russo brand, Hameen Media Group, is willing to support, even if you're not in the area. I got to figure out more about it, but something I wanted to promote to help Al promote, because regardless, I wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for OVW and listening to Al Snow. And that's the least I can do to help try and sell some tickets. Then by all means, we're going to use Hameen Media Group to help out any way possible and promote the wrestling community. So if you're there, we'll find more out about
it. I'm in the area. I might reach out to him to see if I can help out in any way. So
100%, man. So whatever we can do, we'll be happy to. So to help the Snowman. But yeah, Stevie Richards, great content as well. Fucking Timmy Baltimore's got Mickey James on this week with some great sound bites.
Awesome stuff right there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Mickey absolutely loves Timmy, and they go all the way back to both of their origin stories, really. So just awesome content coming out this week, and we'll see what wrestling podcaster retweets themselves with responses from a burner account or what have you, man, in this crazy.
You're the best, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, dude, you know, so but whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great summer. I hope July 4th was great, and you're everything's going well for you and yours, even in this crazy time of who knows what's going to happen, or lists or weather control or whatever we're doing, man. Hopefully we provide you with a couple minutes of escape today, and you know, for the best value in pro wrestling podcasting. And yeah, you never know, maybe I'll end up on K100 soon to answer to wrestling courts or whatever. But if you guys are enjoying it, I know we got a lot of love on the love review last week for love watching Raw and SmackDown. I've got a lot of love to show SmackDown this week. A lot of lovely choices. So we'll see if we do that again and keep playing that game out. But thank you guys for hanging. I'll be back tomorrow with Vince and Stevie, and I'm sure Art of the B to the V will be making all the rounds. Appreciate all the producers and uploaders and watch-alongers from Let's Go Brandon to Jimmy T down under, down there. And make sure you infidels clean up all your wrist tape and all the other bullshit out of the locker room, because I'm not sticking around to do it. I'm too over. I'm the veteran here because I'm retired on the Monday Locker Room Hami Media Group. YOLO.
If you're not Caucasian, then leave. Mark Henry. I'm sorry, no.